guys. I didn't even hook up my camera. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go. Okay. All right. Let's get the show on the road. Man, we got the lights on. Okay, there we go. Man, I didn't have my light on. I didn't have my camera plugged in. I was just starting the stream like everything was all hooked up. Holy moly. Okay. Guys, we have some things to talk about. So, we should have been watching the... Whoa, I'm a little off center. We should have been watching that CME gap. We forgot to look at the CME chart last night. Man, what were we thinking? But we still were on the we were on the ball. I want to show you guys what we were actually talking about last night. We were showing you the charts. We were streaming. We started our tradition now that we're going to be doing 2 live streams a day, and we're going to be streaming at 7:30 Monday through Friday. So along with the 11 a.m. live stream, Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be streaming at 7:30. So we hope to see you guys on whatever stream you can make. Make sure you guys are supporting the channel. Join the dojo crew. In this dojo, we are training every single day to be able to handle the punches, the kicks, the roundhouses, the scissor kicks to the chin that sometimes happens, which is what happened to us. And the whole market had 20, I don't know how, I mean, it was like a cascading wave of liquidations that happened in the markets for Bitcoin, Ethereum, the alts. We pushed a brand new all-time high yesterday, last night, for the Asian market open. So the Asians were bidding. They were bidding it up, but then we were looking at some patterns, and it was just looking like we were... I don't know what's happening with my Twitter. What is going on? Give me my posts. For some reason, everything is being a pain. Nothing is loading on my Twitter. I wanted to show you guys my posts, but I guess I can't show you my posts. I'll just show you the chart. All right, so if you were watching last night, okay, we showed you that we were probably going to consolidate down into a support level, but we said we're either going to hit here or there's going to be a quick flash into that 119 liquidation level. We were looking at the liquidation levels, the liquidation heat map. We'll go to the liquidation heat map and we'll show you. And you can see, well, I mean, it's going to look a lot different than what we could probably just, if you go back into the live stream from last night, we mentioned those liquidation levels, but yeah, this was pretty crazy. So we'll show you on the chart here. We showed you that we put in a stop loss on Bitcoin, but in profit. So we hit that. Then we tried to go back in the morning before the market opened, and we got in right here at 120,000, and it just got, and look, I mean, we just had this scam wick to the downside. We filled the CME gap, and now we're basically going sideways. And so right now we're going sideways on Bitcoin, but what's happening is that we're getting a little bit of push on the alts, and let's see if we're having kind of another, dominance kind of flip here. And it looks like it, yeah. So the ETH BTC ratio in the past 5 minutes on the 5-minute chart has been doing really well. So we're up 2% on the ETH BTC, and we're actually 1% up on the Sol BTC ratio chart. So this is this is pretty fascinating. So we're getting some traction on BNB. So we're seeing a little bit of that money rotation. But like I said, guys, we really do have to pay attention also to the the native tokens that are on Solana and ETH and also possibly BNB, and pay attention to the DEX tokens, the protocols, the meme coins, anything that's trading with strong volume right now on these chains. For instance, like Solana's been doing well. Solana is still alongside Ethereum and Bitcoin has been catching up. I think the SOL BTC ratio saw a bottom here. And if we look at the chart on the daily, you can see where, you know, it's potential that it saw a bottom was right here in June, right here. Seems like we hit a bottom. We hit a double bottom, and now we're starting to go back up into some of these ratios, and we pull fib from here. This is basically what we're kind of eyeing that 618. I think that's when we're going to see Solana really start to fly. That's when I think we're going to be breaking Solana all-time highs, and we'll go back up to like 350. We'll go to 350, 400 once we're in that ratio. Because I mean, look at what's happening when the ETH BTC ratio has been breaking out, you know, to its 618 ratio, and look at where we're at. We're basically very close to breaking all-time highs for Ethereum, and this was only just a liquidity flush to be able to just knock out that high leverage. And this is exactly what the markets did. This is what, you know, Binance, Coinbase, any of the big exchanges that are having high leverage, it just does a cascading wave of liquidations. And so now we're kind of just like at a standstill because we're at Thursday. We got today, we got tomorrow for the market open trading, and it's going to be interesting because if we can hold the line here, and like I said, we break through this order block of the previous bull market resistance, which was at right here. It was right here. If we break that, then the next Fibonacci extension level that we're going to hit with Ethereum is the 1.618, which is the $5,741. So I'm really excited about this because I think it's just right around the corner. And this is going to push some sentiment and give us that little mini altcoin season. We're basically halfway into being an altcoin season according to this index. And it's just going to start getting pretty wild once. And this isn't even because remember, guys, when we get into 75 of the range of altcoin season, it's like pre-altcoin season. We still haven't had like a run like we've had in like this, like where we had just whoom, just like a mega, like we start getting into the hundreds right here. This is it right here. This is where we were going to start. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. I want to start seeing, look, this was just, we got up to about 80, you know, topped out at 90. I want to see this index hitting in like the hundreds, 120, like something that we've never seen before. This is what I want to see. So I think we will start to trend back up into a level right here in the altcoin index. And so let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. But yeah, let's give some shout outs to everyone who's here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys are, and honestly, make sure you guys are going and subscribing to all the crypto YouTube channels. Go and check out their lives. Go and hit the like button on their stuff. You know, just make sure you're supporting everyone who's trying to build a channel because it's tough, man. You got to grind on this thing. And so if there's other people you see out there grinding and you just give them a shout out, give them a support, share their live stream. It definitely helps. We all, in a sense, you know, we're all in this together, man, you know? So, and just shout out to Laser, shout out to Eric Espacino, shout out to Alexandra G, the mod of all mods. I always say, if you see Alexandra G in your live stream, then you are in the right place. You are in the right place. So, and we got Don Cabrera in the house. Make sure you guys let yourselves be known in the chat. Put some Pepes in the chat. Put your Pepes in the chat. Make sure you're rocking your Pepe. If you're not rocking your Pepe, basically, look, you see how Alexandra G's account looks? She's got that little cheeky Pepe right there. And pretty soon we're just going to actually change it. We're going to change it to the Harry Potter Obama Sonic Teninu ticker Bitcoin logo, and everyone who becomes a member of this channel automatically becomes a member of the egregore, and they will be blessed for life. So make sure you guys check that out if you want to become a member of the channel. And the best way that you can directly support this channel is to check all the links in the description. We'll just do a quick shill, get it out of the way. And just make sure you guys are hitting that like button. You guys are already doing a great job. We got 7 likes. We just want to give a shout out to OURBIT. So OURBIT is one of the main exchanges that we like to trade on. Super fast transactions, very good with validating transactions very fast, whatever networks, a lot of network capabilities and blockchains that you can use with stable coins. They're super bullish memes. They have a lot of different features on there. Really easy to sign up. No KYC, no VPN or anything. You can just use it. It's great. And then PHEMEX, specifically with my link, whitelisted, no KYC, and we are running a giveaway. If you sign up with PHEMEX, you actually get some ticker Bitcoin. So depending on how much you trade, if you trade up, even just like $10 of volume, you'll get 50 ticker Bitcoin. If you trade over a few $100s of volume, you'll get a few hundred ticker Bitcoin. And then you max ticker Bitcoin that you can get is 1,000 ticker Bitcoin with completing the necessary tasks. But yeah, just check that out. Sign up with PHEMEX. And PHEMEX is actually where we are currently in our inverse perpetual trade for AVAX. And I want to mention that in a bull market where we haven't seen alts fully run yet, there's only a few exchanges that will actually let you use the coin, like Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Sol, SUI, ADA, Link, and AVAX, to use that as the collateral to trade with, and you get paid out in the native coin. So it's something that you can definitely take advantage of. It's definitely puts a lot more risk on it. You have a risk to lose it if you're not careful. So, but it's definitely something that if you're like a ninja and you can really navigate it, then you can be able to, at the end of this bull market, have a lot of Sol, have a lot of XRP and ETH and Bitcoin, and just stacking it up, and it's going up along with the trade itself. So then whenever, say this trade on AVAX, I want to, take some profits up at this peak, this peak resistance, I'll be able to, get 4 AVAX by using the 2 AVAX that I used as collateral. So we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna be a lot more cautious on this one because we got completely sniped. It was ridiculous because we were super protective on the trade last night and made a really good entry and profit, and then we totally just completely broke a rule this morning, got into the trade and was in profit. Completely forgot to set the stop loss at break even, so then if anything happened, we would be protected. And by the time I literally walked away from my phone and walked away from the screen, the market flushed that fast. So that's why you have to be like a ninja, and this is why we're going to be training in the dojo, and we hope you guys will learn from my mistakes. That's why we always want to make sure we tell you where we messed up, and in hopes that you can not do that. Don't do that. Okay, so Rancham is saying Myro. Yeah, people haven't talked about Myro in a long time. And Myro was one of those coins, I think, that actually was airdropped on the Solana phone, the Saga phone. Myro, $25 million market cap, kind of lost traction. Like people, the AI coins and a lot of the other Solana meme coins kind of took market share. Fartcoin and Trump basically bled a lot of the Solana meme coins dry. Because if you see it in the terms of liquidity, like you go to Solana and you go to liquidity, look, Trump, Fartcoin, Pump, like all these new coins, a lot of them being new coins, took the spotlight away from Myro. So if you go to Myro and you look at kind of what happened here, it got beat down. I mean, it had a pretty epic rise. It broke that all-time high, Trump pump, and then what was interesting is actually not Trump pump. This was in 2024. Trump pump. It just didn't look. I mean, it just some of the coins, if you remember, did a lot better and took basically like in the Trump pump, we're going like we're going parabolic. This had basically had obviously altcoin season, like we were talking about pre-altcoin season. So this was one of the coins during that pre-altcoin season that pulled one of those multiples that was like, pretty decent, 600% move to the upside from that bottomed out. You see double bottom from the test of that, new all-time high, the first all-time high. And so this is one of those things where it's like, this was Myro is the Solana dev's dog. So if you're wondering like what the narrative was behind the coin, and I think this coin was on the phone, the Saga phone, as the airdrop. It was Bonk, Myro, and there was some Solana on there. Don't quote me on this. I know for sure Bonk was on there. Obviously, that was like the big one. That was the one that like basically paid for the phone and then some. If you were to have held the airdrop for up to its peak. So. But yeah, Myro kind of just looks like it just looks beat down. It looks beat down. Still has a lot of holders, 51%. But here's the deal: this is just this is one you just have to like kind of you'd be taking a risk on it. You'd be taking a risk just like everything else. But you're buying you're definitely buying the bottom. You're buying the bottom for sure. So if you think that Myro could be a coin that all of a sudden kind of comes back up and gets a little bit of that market share, then from where it's at right now, getting up into where it had the Trump resistance, it's 500% to the upside. So it's just kind of, you could potentially take that bet, because like there's a lot of Solana coins, like I said, just bled into the ones that got market share, which was Trump, Fartcoin, and then now we're starting to see a lot of people got into the pump pre-sale, and also pump just a lot of people bought the top of pump when it launched too. So a lot of people were betting on pump to have launched at or it actually launched at like a $2-3 billion valuation, and then dumped under $1 billion and dumped to like $800 million market cap. So you see how kind of a lot of that money rotated. You can see it launched at 2.4 billion, crashed down to 800 million, and then now is sitting kind of flatlined at $1 billion. So it just shows a lot of the money on Sol wasn't like new money coming in. It was more so rotations of where a narrative was falling off. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Here's the boom, boom, boom. Go to the next one. And a lot of people really, though, had confidence in Fartcoin because of the strength of Fartcoin. The chart actually looked really good. So for instance, like you look at kind of what happened with Myro, and you look at the Myro chart, and then you look at the Fartcoin chart, and you're like, okay, dang, still had, similar downturn, like all altcoins bled after Trump getting elected. And so were they able to actually come back up and sustain to the same levels, or at least close to where they were when Trump became president? not very many. So that's why some people were kind of still betting, okay, well, this is strength. And then the liquidity, like a lot of liquidity, which means that if there's, there's sell pressure on the chart, it doesn't dump it, super, super hard, kind of keeps it steady. So that's got a lot of holders, 163,000. But yeah, it's interesting. But we're gonna, sorry, I got talking on Myro, and then I'm just starting to compare kind of liquidity and like kind of how the tokens have been flowing around on Solana, and it's possible that we'll get a resurgence back into AI tokens on Solana, because that was kind of where a fast narrative came through, and then we had a big dump on it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the narrative that we want to pay attention to, or at least the one that I am, is, like I said, the DEX tokens like Orca, Radium, Jupiter, just Solana itself, and then what is going to be, the actual number one, money making application and protocol on Solana that has a token, and then just bet on that. But I'm betting on Orca going past like $10, $15, and Radium continuing to push up. It's in Wyckoff right now, according to the daily chart. That can push up $10, $15 easy. It's all based on Solana's performance, of course. But yeah, guys, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. Make sure you're hitting the like button when you come in. That's the way that we can get this stream out to more people. YouTube is just being kind of nasty, kind of salty with pushing the live stream out to people. They don't even let people know half the time. So it would be really cool if you guys hit that like button. We got to just smash the likes to all-time highs, and also share the live stream, and we can get more people in the dojo. Get more people in the dojo. Okay, so let's get into some of the news if we can. I don't know if we'll be able to, because for some reason this Twitter or X is not working. Is it working now? Okay, there we go. It was not loading post. Okay. And shout out to everyone who's watching on X. The Sprotos coming in hot. But yeah, this was ridiculous. That was where I tried to go long, 120,000. I was like, oh, cool. And I should have realized that, like, dang it, the liquidations are at 119, bro. You should have waited. You should just be patient, dude. So I basically I got completely smashed. You can see the scam wick just kind of, it destroyed a lot of people. It wasn't just me though. So at least, that's the thing. You don't have to feel too bad, because then you'll get the notifications on your phone that, $20 billion of was wiped out of the market. And you're like, okay, wasn't just me. Because if it was, then it would be whale alerts saying like Dano crypto was liquidated for $50. Big deal. Oh, but it's the collective $50 of all of us chumps out there that adds to that 20 billion. So, but this is what was crazy, is that it really did do just about exactly as predicted last night when we were looking at the charts. We said, yeah, it's probably going to get a nice little pullback. We'll get faked out, shaked out, and then we'll get another, and we'll push to the upside. So, yeah, and this was last night's live stream. So here's the receipts. Here's the proof. We didn't just make this up. We were looking at the charts, and we said, yeah, that could be a big possibility. But all right, so let's see. There's some interesting things developing with Russia right now. They're really trying to make this deal happen, but Putin is dead set on land. He's like, I'm not making the deal unless Ukraine gives up this section of Ukraine. Essentially, is what I'm gathering from the news and gathering just from like kind of what I'm hearing around. And I wonder if Ukraine, they'll go for it, they'll make the deal, and we'll see what happens. But I think, well, what will happen though, we will have a market reaction if we do have positive news for any kind of deal being made, because I mean that would just be great. I mean, if we can get like a full ceasefire, deal made, war done, all this nonsense, like just get it done. It's all about money, power, land, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, on both sides, people are dying. Russians are dying. Ukrainians are dying. Innocent people are dying. So it's like, make a deal. Make a deal. So if anything, guys, if you can do something, just pray. Just pray that on both sides, that people will stop. Will stop getting killed. The dying will stop. And something can happen, something, I don't know, a miracle of some sort. That would be great. So let's pray for that. Let's all pray for that. I think, we forget the power of prayer. If we can all do that, that might help. So yeah, because it's all terrible at the end of the day. I mean, it's all just terrible. So we want that to stop. But okay, we're gonna get into something here. Where's the link? Crap. Where did it go? Because there was something we have to talk about this. Where the hell did it go? Oh no, where is it? What the heck? Okay, so apparently these jokers on a interview, the CEO of PancakeSwap apparently doesn't know what Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu is, and they end up mentioning the wrong project. And I gotta get the video again. Hold on. And Sprotos, help me out. Explain exactly what happened, because I haven't gone through the entire video just yet. But we got to click on the link. Where's the link? Where's the video? Here it is. Oh, I have it. It was on a different page. That's why I was like, what is going on? Okay, here we go. And it's at, where is it at? It's at 24.
Read it. Sorry, I haven't played for the day.
Okay. So this one is based on the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu from one of their team, and they're now building on a Solana-based version. So it's Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu on Sol. And what the
Sorry, that second, Brian. So they're called Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu?
Inu, yeah, so HPOS 10 Inu. Sorry, Chef Kids, you must have heard of Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu.
Sorry, Brian.
Okay.
Yeah, fan of, I'm a fan for, a lot. Yeah, fan for Harry Potter.
You're a fan of Harry Potter, but have you heard of Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 a meme coin?
Until today, no, but it's quite interesting. I will do my own homework.
To do your homework, because it is quite an interesting meme coin, to be fair. It's based on a backpack that somebody photographed in a market in Amsterdam, and it had all these logos that were totally out of context. So it said on this one backpack, I'm sure Bellman would be able to get this photograph for us and whack it up whenever we get this all edited. But it has Harry Potter on it. It has Obama on it for some reason, and then Sonic the Hedgehog on it, and it just says 10 on it as well. So they made this meme coin. Anyway, it is very popular. I've been following this one for maybe 2 or 3 years. Well, okay, so there's a Solana-based version of it now. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I thought, look, I'm not shilling anything here at all. But I just find their meme coin to be actually quite hilarious. Anyway, So what they want to know is, and I think this is quite interesting because when I started using PancakeSwap years ago, I always thought it was synonymous with the BNB chain. But what they want to know is there any way to bridge or reintegrate their Solana-based project with the original BNB version using any PancakeSwap tools or cross-chain solutions?
Yeah, absolutely. The answer is yes. So yeah, I think most of people think PancakeSwap is more BNB chain based. For sure, BNB chain is our home chain, but the PancakeSwap is now a true multi-chain DEX. Live on 9 different chains, including Base, Arbitrum, Ethereum, and Solana. So if it's a BNB.
Okay, so he gave a good explanation, but then he was mentioning the Solana based version, but then there is a Solana wormhole for the token, but it's just a wrapped Bitcoin. And then also there's the Bitcoin on Beara, and it's not a new token, it's just wrapped Bitcoin on Beara chain. You said like hackers. He said off to hackers. What's up, JR? What's going on? The like has been smashed. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So yeah. So I don't know what they were. I don't know what if they were because yeah. There. If you type in, for instance, like you go to, let's just type in Bitcoin. And what's probably going to happen is there's going to be probably a bunch of derivs, weird things happening. You're going to see, yeah, like, I want to see if there's like, you got this one. Okay, that's the Beara one. This is the main one, the ETH Uniswap, 2-year-old, 3-month-old, this one. So I wonder which Sol one that they were talking. That's the wormhole one. This is the bridged one. This is the bridged Sol. And yeah, I'm not sure. But we want to make sure that whenever we're talking about ticker Bitcoin, we are talking about this chart. We're talking about this chart because this chart doesn't exist anywhere else besides on the ETH wrapped ETH Uniswap liquidity pool. This is the one that we focus on. And we do the same when it comes to other coins on ETH. And like when it comes to like Pepe, we look at the Pepe ETH chart. When it comes to Wojak, we look at the Wojak ETH chart. But that's cool though. Any mention is good. Unless they were just straight up completely fudding it, but then also sometimes FUD works as a counter. It's like, any press is good press, they say, right? All right, so Wojak, this is the one, yeah. So this is the chart that I like to look at. So we keep it pretty simple when it comes to breaking down some of these meme coin charts. It's just like, does the chart look good? Do you have opportunities to still buy, and it's not kind of over, maybe buying where it seems like we're in overvalued territory? You have to make the choice. That's where you kind of pony up on your low cap exposure, and we're gonna actually break that down. We're gonna break down the portfolio. Real quick, well, let's go through the news. Let's make sure. Let's see. Reuters is saying, stocks are taking a breather. Fed rate cut drumbeat weighs on the dollar. The dollar actually was going up a little bit. We noticed the Dixie was actually kind of going up a little bit, and we've seen kind of just a cool off. But at the same time, crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum were just on fire yesterday. So it does make sense that we're kind of taking a little bit of a breather. The rate cut that it could be 50 basis points in September is possible. It's very possible, but I think we just know that we're getting a some type of cut in September, and then we'll see what happens for the remaining 2 meetings. And then I don't think Jerome Powell is going to be resigning. He's not going to get fired. I think everyone is going to be. I think he's going to actually go out in May. He's going to weigh out his full term. And then there might be just like a shuffling and reshuffling of people that are on the committee, and we'll see what happens, because they're all now in the news going through all the different candidates who are going to be the Fed chair. So that's kind of it's kind of what the market's waiting on. That's kind of, let's see. Anything else? We'll check this out. Hot U.S. inflation data rattles global bond markets. Risk-on rally pauses after sharp jump in U.S. Producer prices. Long-dated treasuries spooked by rising inflation pressures. And German bonds, I think they're trying to say buns. And UK gilts hit by selling pressure. The commodities markets subdued ahead of Friday's U.S.-Russia summit. So like I said, a lot of things happening with talks with Russia. I believe Putin arrived in, was it Alaska or something like that? I guess that's where they're having this summit. Let's see, the producer prices index, which investors have been watching for signs of pipeline inflation pressures from U.S. President Donald Trump's trade tariffs, rose 0.9% in July from the months before. Let's see. Bets on a bigger, okay, so this is what I was thinking. So bets on a bigger 50 basis point rate cut, encouraged by comments from U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Wednesday, quickly faded out of the market. The 5-year Treasury yield climbed about 2 basis points at the price of the debt fell, and last traded at 3.7%. So we'll see, and maybe we'll see if that changed anything with the percentage of. Oh, dang. Okay, hold up. So our current rate is 4.5%, correct? Our current rate is 4.5%, and now we're having a 90% chance that we get is that going to be just a 25? Okay, yeah, so that's switching up a little bit. Watch the trades here. Thanks, guys, for hitting that like button. Appreciate it. Oh, sorry, Renche. I didn't answer your question. You said, do you think there can be a Q1 pump, then everyone FOMOs back in saying super cycle, then everyone gets dumped on? That's a good question. So this is my prediction, and I'll show you based on the rainbow chart. So normally, after these halving cycles, we have pumped like pretty hard, and we've gone into the red. We even got really close to the red even after the third halving coming out of COVID for the last bull market cycle in 2021. Bitcoin peaked around August, or sorry, January, February, March, April. No, it was like April. We hit that like 58, and then in November, or a little before November, because then in November we had alts kind of pump right after, because Bitcoin took, it kind of cooled off and money started to flow into the other, riskier speculative assets. But we still hit a double, it was kind of a double top all-time high, but it took a couple months of some pain and fake out, and then we bounced right back up. So that was tricky. You know, a lot of people, I think, got fully wrecked trying to buy back in, or say, you know, they thought they were like, okay, that's the top, then they sold or whatever, and then I don't know. I mean, that was very tricky, very, very tricky. And so if you look at the nature of how this chart looks, and you see how after this fourth halving, I mean, have we even gone anywhere near the orange or the red? No. So I think what is going to happen here is we get a push into the orange, the getting into the orange. We're in the yellow right now. We're going to start getting into the orange, where we're in between $138,000 and $176,000 per Bitcoin. And this is going to be towards in October. We could get that pullback. We could get a pump into $200,000 for this year. We get a pullback to 150. We crash $50,000. People, you know, we think we're going into a bear market. It could potentially do something like this. It goes down, tests back up into quarter one and quarter two of 2026, and that's when we hit the red. And then we do something like that, where we hit the red, we go down, we test, hit the red, and then we go back into a range of even just like, you know, going back into the 200s. Because if we're pushing from 200,000 going to 150, and then from 150 crushing up to 300K going into the red, and then that's how we go over the rainbow to $1 million per Bitcoin. And I love this chart. You know, this chart really gives you hope, and it shows you too that like it's still not like super go time to be like celebrating and selling or thinking you need to exit out of the market. It's the best way that I can macro out. And also we use Litecoin too. Like we mentioned, Litecoin is a great altcoin oscillator. If you look at the weekly chart of Litecoin, spread it out, and you can see, if you just hide your drawings, look at everything like this, and you can see that in every cycle, 2017, 2021, we've had those peaks and highs into Litecoin. And usually that was an indication that alts and things were starting to get a little hot. And then you had one right here and one right here, two different opportunities right here where like alts were cooking. Look, in November 2021, we were still at close to a $300 Litecoin. Then right before then, in April, that was where we were like getting, Bitcoin all-time highs, and Litecoin was following suit, $400 a Litecoin. Now, I'm just kind of obviously dubious speculation that we could get a similar run like we had right here, and it can push us up into this territory where I would be really actually looking to take profits, is like being above the 1618 and going into this area. I think we could push up into a $200 Litecoin, $250 Litecoin in quarter four this year, October, and then depending on how it doesn't come without the volatility. No, we push up there, and look, we pushed up to 242. We went back down on a weekly candle, back down to 158, and then we bounced from 158 back up to 425. So I think we could do the same thing. We just push up, we test into that fib, we hit resistance at 279. We could hit resistance right here at 200, and this is where I'm gonna really be watching. This is where I'm gonna say, okay, this is like we're in altcoin season. This is where I think that will actually be. We'll be here. We'll be in altcoin season. And we're going to just be in pre-altcoin season We'll start to see the dominance, correlation with Bitcoin going down. Look at this. Isn't that perfect? We had that nice pump to all-time high and still dominance going down into that exact area that we've been calling for dominance to cool off. We get dominance going basically into this range and down into 54%. This, at the same time, we got ETH dominance doing this, pumping into this area, and it matches exactly with the ETH BTC chart. Looks exactly like this same exact chart. You could literally just like superimpose this chart over the ETH dominance chart, and there's your answer of why Ethereum is doing so well, and also in correlation with the inflows of the ETF, as you can see here. ETF inflows. Look on the 13th. Look, while they were not buying Bitcoin at all yesterday, they did not buy Bitcoin at all, and like with the ETFs, only just like they flowed in like 86 million. You know how much they flowed into Ethereum yesterday? $729 million. So this is why Ethereum is still super, super, super strong right now and is holding the line. So we were telling you guys, like, if Ethereum can hold the line and the institutions, like, accumulation is going to push back on that manipulation, we're only going to get quick little wick pullbacks like this, and it's just going to basically, if we look at the daily chart, I think is where we're going to really get that order block data from previous bull market all-time high. Right here, we break through the order block, and I'm telling you, we're going to go to $5,741 like really, really fast, and people are going to be... I don't know why they're going to be surprised by it. It shows you right in the charts here what's happening in the flows and the dominance, and all of that shows you these movements. So if you can take advantage of it, then I don't know. I suggest you do so, because holy crap, still looks bullish. I mean, I wouldn't let any of this volatility and these shakeouts fool you right now. Let's not let that happen. All right, we got we're cranking on this AVAX trade right now. We're cranking on this one up 18%. We got a break even stop loss set. We're looking to print some AVAX for sure. We think AVAX is very solid pick as an altcoin, very undervalued, and we're thinking like. Should be no problem getting an AVAX to its bull market all-time highs, or at least back to the Trump pump. We get back in here. We get back to 55. We get back to $55. Woo! Be really liking that. All right, let's check on the Pulse Chain ecosystem. Let's check and see how Pulse Chain's doing over the past 24 hours. Had a nice little dip. It looks like all the ecosystem tokens right here took a nice little dip. But over the past 30 days, though, we've been adding liquidity. Tokens have been going up. We got incentive token over the past 30 days up 42%. PLSX, which is the swap, the DEX for Pulse Chain, where a lot of the liquidity is provided, where you can actually farm and add your own LP. You have Hex up 142% in the past 30 days. Dang. And then we've had Pulse, the gas token, 92%. But I don't know. There's just something about, like, I really just like the cleanness of Pulse Chain, where it's just clean. You know, like, I like how it's displayed. It's very easy to understand. Look, it is a layer 1. It is Pulse is used for the gas token. PLSX is the token in the DEX where you can do buys and burns. Incentive is the incentive token that you get for providing the liquidity. So then that has its own intrinsic value to it. Hex is the mining protocol and the whole basis of Richard Hart's, ethos. It's pretty straightforward. And the website is super simple. There's not a bunch of crap going on to confuse people. And I think there's something here. And Richard Hart has been cryptically posting about how he's going to do this crazy mass marketing. Let's see. Here we go. He said the Pulse Chain train. He said the Pulse Chain train is coming to town, passing all barriers and breaking all resistances. Post exactly which things you think people would most be excited to know, including Pulse X and Hex. If you were writing someone a heartfelt letter, what would you want them to know? I don't know, guys. What would you want them to know? What would you... That Richard Hart has the biggest ego in the entire world? Maybe so. All right, but let's look at the actual Pulse Chain ecosystem tokens. Let's check it out. Let's see what's happening on the DEX. Let's see what's happening on DEX Screener. So the Tropa DAI pair has the most liquidity apparently in terms of the DeFi, 82 million. And then we have PulseX that is wrapped PLS. That is 12 million liquidity. We got 5 billion market cap. Incentive. What's interesting is if you notice that there's different pairs for the same token. So for instance, like the incentive token, we have a liquidity pool and pair for wrapped PLS. And then for incentive, we also have a pair for PLSX. Hex also has a wrapped PLS liquidity pool. And then I believe there is also a PLSX wrapped liquidity pool. Same, I think, I think there's a couple with Teddy Bear where I think Teddy Bear, has a Tropa liquidity pool. And then there's also a Teddy Bear that should be paired with DAI. Yeah, okay, yeah. So there's DAI right there. And then the tokens that I've noticed that had the most traction in terms of the meme coins was the TGC. The TGC was the Gray's currency. I noticed that one had some interesting tokenomics and community behind it. And then also Teddy Bear. So TGC and Teddy Bear were the coins, and also UFO. It's like UFO, TGC, and Teddy Bear were the things that I have had my eyes on. And then there's also a Trump token too. There's the but I'm not sure how much the liquidity's. Yeah, it's this one right here. It's just like the Trump token was made 6 months ago. Liquidity's kind of thin on it, so I'm not really too sure who's in control of this particular Trump token. Not able to really see. Yeah, it's just kind of it had like that nice little pump, obviously right after the Trump presidency, but now it's just kind of in the ground. So. But yeah, something that I've been pretty interested in. I've been interested in the Gray's currency. This chart looks good. This chart actually being one of the better looking charts for a Pulse Chain ecosystem token. Yeah, it's looking pretty decent. And then we'll look at Teddy Bear. We'll look at Teddy. Let's see if there's the Teddy Bear that is the... Because I want to look at the DAI chart. I think that's the one we want to look at, possibly. So yeah, this had that. had a similar pump, but the chart doesn't look as good as TGC. That's for sure. And then we'll look at UFO. Now let's look at UFO. Okay, that chart, it doesn't look. Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. What is this? What is this wick? What is this wick? What happened here? What is this? What the heck is this? 3.2 billion wick straight down. Oh, I just heard a stop loss get triggered. Dang, man, these freaking markets. Stop loss was hit. Oh yeah, because it's, oh man, is that a bear flag? Oh yeah, we might be getting a bear flag here. If we get a bear flag, that means we could be potentially going down about here. We could go down even more and we'll hit the next resistance level, which is right here. So if we're smart, we'll just try and catch it. Could potentially catch it right here. Copy the price and then just go right back in. Because that definitely looks like a bear flag. And a bull trap. Bear flag, bull trap. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen it before, and it's possible. I mean, it could break. It could break, and this could be an inverse BART. You know, like could be where it's like a doot 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 like this, and it goes shoots right back up, and it just fakes us out. We push right back up to 25, where the market just got cooked. But I'll show you this pattern. I actually have it printed out. Show you. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. So it's definitely possible that it does that. Definitely possible that it does that. But let's see what's happening and what's causing this. We could be getting some more volatility with Bitcoin. Yep. So we're at 117. Yep, we're hitting some resistance. Hitting some resistance again. Yeah, oh yeah, so that looks like a bit of a trap as well. Nice little trap for the bulls. That was a little bull trap. Dang, little bull trap. Okay, so we got some liquidity sitting. Let's see where the next area of liquidity sitting is at 116 actually. 116 is a sweet spot. We got 116 right here, line in the sand. Big big bearish divergence. If you see it, it's like dang. Okay, yeah. They could be sweep. They're gonna sweep the liquidity, or they sweep the floor here at 116. 116. You can see it. It's like right there. That would be an obvious spot to pump it. And they could be wanting to they're trapping. They trapped the longs. They trapped the longs right here because the uptrend was looking like it could have been strong to push it. And now it looks like they could bear flag it. But we're ready to snipe this thing, man. We're going to snipe the crap out of this thing. We're going to get it. I hope you guys get it too. Don't let the market fool you. Don't let them fool you. We'll get them together, okay? We're going to get them together. Make sure you guys are sharing the live stream. You just take the link and you go like that. Boom, boom. Make sure you share it. Thank you to everyone who's watching on X. Sproto Gremlin number 945 says, such an informative stream. Well, thank you. And we got some new followers. We're going to follow back. We're going to do our due diligence. We're going to make sure we... Nice. Awesome. Is that Vamp? Isn't that Vamp? Yeah, that's what... See, I'm starting... You know, you got to know your Sprotos. Yeah, I think that's Vamp. I'm liking that. And we are live! I see. That's what I like about the Sprotos. I love the Ticker Bitcoin community because they're just always. I love the memes. I love the art. I love the whole vibe. I love it. I fit right into it. Just feels good. It feels good, man. It's just like holding Pepe. You know, feels good. Feels good, man. All right, let's look at over the past 30 days. People were saying that, you know, oh, people are searching for altcoins. People are searching for altcoins. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not searching for altcoins. No one knows what the hell an altcoin is. They don't even know what Bitcoin is yet. And you're telling me retail searching for altcoins? That is false. Just by going to Google Trends, people are searching Bitcoin and they're searching crypto, but they're not searching altcoins. They don't know what the hell that is. So just take that off the board there. They're even searching for Pepe more than they are for altcoins. And Dogecoin is another one where it's like we're actually getting more search on Pepe than we are on Dogecoin. That's what's interesting. And I've told you guys before, we've been more on the side that we think Pepe is going to be running like SHIB and Doge. But we'll see. It's just going to be lagging a little bit. You know, it's Ethereum's going to be taking over. You know, Ethereum's going to be really stealing the show here, and it just proves by what's happening right now. Look, Bitcoin kind of getting cooked, and Ethereum is holding super strong. So I'm betting on both. I mean, I'm betting on both. I'm bullish Bitcoin. I'm bullish ETH. I'm bullish like the ecosystem of Ethereum. I'm bullish Solana. I think there's no reason to not be bullish on both Solana and Ethereum. I'm bullish Tron for the involvement of the acquisitions and stuff like that with involvement with all the different Trump World Liberty Financial stuff. Tron still, in terms of stablecoin, is second to Ethereum. $86 billion of stables. Really bullish XYO. They're launching their layer 1, and they're gonna have a multi-token ecosystem. So it's kind of like, how we have this multi-token ecosystem. One token is used for the gas and one's used for blah, blah, blah. One, multi-token ecosystem to help bolster it. That's kind of what's going to be happening with XYO here pretty soon. Have that kind of multi-token thing going on. And a wallet to support it as well. The XL1 wallet. So we've been ready for that. We're holding some XYO. Definitely could still accumulate more. Chainlink's got that treasury set up, all you Link Marines. Yeah, I mean, there's just still all kinds of, we're not even close. We're not even close. And the way that you can always tell that we're just not close yet is you can go to total cryptocurrency market cap, go to the weekly, and you can see that we're breaking out of the cup and handle. We're breaking out of the cup and handle. We're going to hit 7 trillion here, within months. We should be at 7 trillion. We're going to break 5 and it's off to the races. This chart, if you look at this chart, looks exactly like gold. If gold was able to do it, if gold was able to do a successful breakout like this, out of that same exact pattern, I'm pretty sure that we could do it with crypto. I'm pretty sure that we could do it. I believe that we can 100% do it, and we can achieve those numbers of having Bitcoin alone just be 15 trillion. We have 7 trillion under that. And then 4 trillion being the memes and everything, and just crypto gaming and all the low cap speculative assets. It's going to get crazy. If you're just kind of looking at the overall trend and you measure and you do your moon boy math from each peak, you go like this. Base case, 14 trillion. Base case, 14 trillion, Oh yeah, so Pepe versus Eric Espacino is saying take a look at Pepe versus Doge. Yes, if we do like Pepe Doge. Let's see. Let's go to Pepe. Let's pull up the Pepe chart of the that's the Binance chart. I want the That's funny. Ranchin said, "This is a hidden gem channel. I have to admit, I forgot about it, but I'm glad I'm back." That's funny. That's funny. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, that's awesome. Cool. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. So let's look at the well, actually we need to be looking at Pepe on this chart. Yeah, okay. So here's Pepe. Well, no, we actually have to look at it on TradingView because we're going to do a little comparison. And we're going to, okay, I think this is the, yeah, Binance probably the one. And we will clear all the hide the drawings. Let's, okay. So, interesting enough, when you look at the price line of Doge along with Pepe, it's like it's trading almost to a T, exactly in tandem. I mean, if you look at it, it was doing exactly the same kind of momentum. I think right here we saw a way more of a little pump on Pepe here in May 2024. Doge, but But then it really matched up very well here. Matched it very, very, almost to a T. And then nice little spot. Yeah, I mean, like they follow each other, and it's honestly like they both are going to do well. Who's gonna do more multiples? Well, just depends. Like, what do you think? Like, okay, so for instance, I'm on the Pepe chart for Binance. We're on the weekly chart, and if I just want to be conservative, and we just like drew it's already there. All right, yeah. If we were conservative, we wanted to draw like a trend and see kind of where the trend ends up is at that first fib level, that for after the 786. Because if you break the 786, that's the all-time high, and then we can kind of just see what happens from there. This would bring us up. And we just at least go to the 1618. That's a 303% move to the upside for Pepe. Okay. You go to Doge, and we're at 22 cents, and we have a very similar setup with the fibs. And look, I mean, it's very, very similar. You pull the fib, and the target is the same, 1618. From pulling the fib from the high to the low, and we land at 73 cents, which is the pretty much previous bull market top for Doge, because you can see it right here. Now from here at 22 cents to go up to that first fib, that is 228% move to the upside. So if we're going to be hitting possibly, hitting some resistance there, or we just crush up to the dollar, Doge Ghost actually, completes the first, tag up to $1. That's in between the Fibonacci levels. That's a 360% move to the upside. So they both have the exact same risk, the same upside potential. The only difference is the tokenomics of the coins, because Pepe is an open chart in the sense that there's no more supply that can be made. It's just what it is. It's 420 trillion Pepe on the market, and that's it. No one controls it. It's very decentralized. A lot of a lot of exchanges are, with their hot wallets have a lot of Pepe. So I guess, you could say it's decentralized, but a lot of centralized exchanges own a lot of Pepe, because they have to. They want to hold the thing that the people are going to eventually want. They're trying to be smart. It's just like Robinhood. They own so much Doge because it was like that was the play. The biggest Doge wallet was actually Robinhood. They were one of the biggest Doge whales. They had the second largest balance, I think. Maybe even, I think, the biggest. So, yeah. So that's the only difference is the tokenomics. Dogecoin is inflationary. It's not deflationary. You can like Doge just can, like, it's kind of the max supply is infinite. Circulating supply is 150 billion Doge. Total supply, so it's different. So if you're thinking like, okay, like what should I bet on? Should I hold some Doge or I hold some Pepe? They technically they both have the same upside potential. To just be fair and be conservative and to say at least to the Fibonacci extension levels, they have very, very similar upside potential. They're moving in tandem with each other. Both great holds. And honestly, you're doing one for the culture. You're holding Pepe, you're holding Dogecoin. It's like it's like you got to buy a little Bitcoin, you got to have a little ETH for the culture. Like this is how we all succeed. There's certain coins you hold in your bags because it's you believe in freedom, and you want to have freedom in your finances. You hold these things hold these coins to be self-evident. Oh, and thank you guys for hitting that like button. We're almost at 20 likes. We have, how many people do we have watching? We have 144 people watching across all platforms. We are streaming to every single freaking platform. We're streaming to X. We are streaming to Rumble. We're streaming to Twitch, streaming to YouTube. We are streaming to Facebook. We might even see if MySpace has a channel that we can add on here. But there are other channels that you can stream onto. Let's see. There's all kinds of new stuff too. Oh, apparently you can stream on Steam. You can stream on some of these I've never heard of. Like, what is Breakers TV? Okay, there's a Major League Gaming one. There No Live. Okay, Substack. Okay, Substack would be cool. I'm starting to dig Substack. You can go live on Amazon. That's interesting. I wonder if there's any people doing Amazon live. And then we've tested Instagram. Instagram's weird because it'll seem like it's working and then all of a sudden it'll get disconnected. So, have you guys ever used Kick? I've never been on Kick. I know they have an interesting like content creator like program and kind of model. But yeah, Twitch is the one that I think it's hilarious that you can stream to LinkedIn. Like people are watching LinkedIn streams. Like that is the worst website in the entire existence of the world. It makes me cringe and feel so gross every time I go in on it. It's so bad. It's basically like, because Facebook's already bad enough. Like Facebook has just been completely destroyed. And it's like both of these websites combined together, it's like just bastard childs of just like all just of the worst. It's just so bad. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I start streaming on Kick? I've never even been to the Kick. I've never even been to the Kick website. What does it look like? Okay. So you got just chatting, games, popular clip. Okay, so you can clip in real life streams. You got Grand Theft Auto 5 streams, Call of Duty, art and music, Fortnite, old school RuneScape. That's getting really popular. People going back to RuneScape. Okay, people gambling, online gambling. Do they have a crypto section? If you just type in, okay, so I wonder if I type in crypto, what would pop up? Whose channel would pop up first when I type in crypto? Okay, so let's see, channels, the crypto net, they have 26,000 followers, and then we have Bare Naked Crypto. They're live right now. They have 10,000 followers. Cousin Crypto. So these are the three main channels that pop up when you type in crypto on Kick. Okay, Eric Espacino is giving me an alert. He's saying ETH is going back to its 25 EMA. Oh, so let's look at that on the ribbon. Because we have the SMA ribbon. You're saying on the 4 hour. Okay, so let's go to the 4 hour. Oh yeah. It's touching that. Yeah. So guys, if you ever want to kind of see the bullish momentum, the ribbon too. You know, we got the EMA ribbon. Sorry, this is the SMA ribbon. Or no, is this the EMA ribbon? Yeah. Sorry, as I was looking at my Bollinger Bands indicator and was reading SMA, because that's the SMA close. For the Bollinger Band that has that middle line. It's the middle through line, the blue line on the Bollinger Bands. That's the close. And then you have the EMA ribbon that has it's got the 1080 and the 20. It's got all these different moving average bands, and it gives you this kind of rainbow ribbon. But I like to make the 20 right here, the 20, the darkest greenest line, and you make it really bold, so then when you can keep track of when it flips under the wave, the ribbon, that's usually when we kind of go a little bearish and we start to consolidate down. When it flips and we start to get that green thick line going up in the ribbon, on the top of the ribbon band, we get some momentum. And we can stay over it. Looks like when we crossed it, how long were we over in momentum? We were all the way up for 7 days, for a whole week. For a whole week, we were above it. And we only crossed below it for another 5 days. So it's almost like we cross below it for 5 days. We stay over it for a week. We could potentially, if we are going to continue to push below it, we go down maybe for 5 days. We test into this area, 4,300. This, look, and then that's kind of previous support. We could test back here, back test this area. Yeah, we back test 4,200. You do something like this. Back test under the ribbon, back test 4,200. We test that 786 again. We could break that, or if we get resistance, then we'll go down to the 382, which is the support level. And then we go to 5. So it could be something like that. Got to watch out for that. Yeah, this actually is looking pretty. Oh yeah, Kenyatta. Yep, you've been telling me about Candle TV. Okay, I gotta just do more research on it. I gotta I gotta look at it. I understand that it is a content creator centric streamer platform, right? And is it candle.tv? Is that the it's candle.tv, right? Dang. I want to hold strong on this. I really do want to hold strong. This is it's very tempting to just be like, just limit right here. But if that is the case if this is the case with ETH, and we end up doing that, that means all the rest of the altcoins could follow suit, and that we would be sniping a really good bounce level. Yeah, it showed you last time we saw a pattern like that. It played out, you know. This one was pretty textbook, very aggressive. But yeah, that gap, there was a gap, 170. Yep, that was the gap, I guess. Yeah, that was the gap on the 4 hour. That gap got full. It's getting fully filled. That's what it wasn't fully filled. Okay, so the gap actually was a distance between, oh man. Wait. Oh, we got to fully fill it at 117.45. Uh-oh. Dang, we might sweep the floor here at 116. Look at that liquidity. Look, you see that liquidity right there? This is going to be wild. Okay, look, we could be doing something like this. Like, boom. And we just start testing up those levels again. Could do something like this. Test, sweep that low right there. Also, look, showed you here. This got that right there. 115. A lot of liquidity sitting here. Look at those buys. Boom, boom, boom. They were buying right here. Woo! Oh my gosh, yeah. This is a little dicey. It's a little dicey, my friends. But yeah, the CME gap there, it's filled. They are filling it as we speak. Okay, well, real quick, we are going to do a quick discussion on a portfolio breakdown. So for any of you people that are new out there, or you're just wondering if you want to kind of tighten up your portfolio, there's 3 steps for a successful bull run portfolio. And this is actually going into the bull run and getting out of the bull run also. So step number 1 is to be diversified. Doesn't mean you need to be in like 17 million different coins, but you definitely, you want to have a percentage rule of however much you're going to have allocated to big, large, major coins, major caps, then the blue chips, the mid cap stuff like the layer 1s, the layer 2s, DeFi tokens, whatever may be, NFT stuff. Then you're going to go down and have a 10% to 15%, maybe even as far as 20% into the lower speculative assets. You put the memes in that category. Any of your stuff that's like, only like $20 million market cap or something, just all that stuff you're just holding like 10 or 15% of that. And which means, you get good upside potential, but if your portfolio was like 60% this stuff, the high speculative things, you're going to feel like a lot more volatility. So that's why it's usually a good idea to have some major coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum and some stables to kind of just to have a healthy portfolio that doesn't have as much insane volatility all the time. Because you saw what happened with the alts, with the Trump dump, the Trump pump and dump. Things went down 95, 100%. So it's just it's very jarring and shocking. So a good rule of thumb could be that you have a 60-30-10 rule where you have 60% in Bitcoin and ETH, and you could say if you wanted to be Bitcoin Solana or you wanted to be Bitcoin XRP, it's whatever you want. It's whatever is like that's your thing, that's your narrative. That is your thing you're betting on. It could be SUI. It could be, hey, I want Bitcoin SUI. Or you could say, I want Bitcoin and Chainlink as my 60%. And then you go into the 30%, and that's where you can add your AVAX and your all the different the DeFi projects and the DEX tokens, the different layer 1s, layer 2s, just all that stuff. That's you're adding your 30%. You're adding some risk. It's definitely more risk, but then you're doing the 10% where you're getting in the really speculative stuff you're just like, I know this is a gamble, but you're willing to, it's just 10% of your portfolio. So upside potential, it's really up there, but you just got to know like that's a 10% of your portfolio that you're like, you're just like, I might lose all of that. And then the second step is having multiple exchanges and wallets set up. So this is very important. So it ensures you are not locked out of any one platform just in case one goes down or has issues. And it also provides you options for trading during high volatility. So you want to take advantage of the market volatility and you want to put in a trade and all of a sudden the one platform that you use, and you only have one set up, you only have one that you have access to for some reason, and you can't get in it, and it's down, or they're saying, hey, our network is repair, we need to repair our network or something, network's down. I mean, who knows? Voyager did that to me constantly and did it to us constantly in the bull run in 2021. The market was heated, and guess what? Voyager went down. We're doing maintenance right now, and I'm like, wow, okay, you mean you're canceling the sell button and the buy button? Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. So that can happen, and just bet on it to happen with at least one of the exchanges that you use. And so you need to have multiple ones set up. That's why, we use PHEMEX, we use OURBIT. We even have 5 other ones that we have set up that we don't use on a regular basis, but they're there just in case. And we have our own wallet set up, especially having your own custodial wallet, like a Phantom wallet, a MetaMask, a Trust wallet, a Rabby wallet, a whatever wallet. You just need to have that, and you need to have all your coins on there as well. Unless you are using your stable coin to be trading and going into the market or doing whatever I said about the inverse perpetual trading, then you need to be having all your coins on a wallet. That's very important. Step 2. Okay. And this is as an example, centralized exchanges, you got Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, mainstream stuff, but then you got the decentralized stuff, which is like, Uniswap, SushiSwap, all the DeFi trading without KYC. And then you got hot wallets, which is what I talked about just now, listed all those. And then you got the cold storage, which is like, the Treasure, Ledger, all, different companies. And so then now we get to the third step, which is once you actually have all this set up and you're doing this and you figured out how you're going to allocate, where you're going to allocate, then it's hodling and taking profits. Because why? The hodling is the long-term holding can benefit from market growth. Taking profits is just protecting gains and provides liquidity for future investment or expenses. It's obvious. But the hodl strategies are core holdings. You're keeping a substantial part in top cryptocurrencies for the long term. And you're ignoring the short-term fluctuations, and you're focusing on a long-term value rather than just daily price swings. And then the profit taking is going to be all up to you on where your portfolio is. So you're going to set price targets, decide at which price points you'll sell portions of your holdings. So a percentage sell a percentage at different highs. So say if your portfolio is at a 2x, you're going to sell 10%. If your portfolio is at a 3x, you're going to sell 20%. So it's all based on how your portfolio looks, because depending on how successful your bag has been, and you're up 3x, 5x, and you can't time the market, you don't know, you can't time the market, you're not going to get the top exact, you're not going to get the bottom exact. So that's why DCAing in and also DCAing out can do really well. So it's all just depends. JR, you're back. What's going on? Oh, we've just been blabbing. We've just been going through the thesis, breaking down your portfolio and how to have a good diversified portfolio. And so we're talking about it's a 3-step process: is diversifying, having multiple wallets and exchanges set up just to eliminate the risk. And then the third step is actually hodling the stuff for a period of time so you can actually see a return. You are basically figuring out, at what points, in your portfolio, hey, my portfolio is 3x or 4x. You're not selling the whole thing, but you're taking 20%. You're hedging a little bit on the momentum. The DCAing out is similar to the dollar cost and averaging in, where you're just buying, doesn't matter what the price is, but with selling small amounts regularly during the bull run. So you're not cashing out the entire bag. You're just kind of like, okay, cool, run up, sell a little bit. And then the reinvestment is consider reinvesting profits into undervalued assets or other investment opportunities. This is where people always go wrong, and they could literally trade back all of their gains because they go into some new project that is right at the tail end of the bull run, and it's most likely an extraction point, and you get cooked. So instead of reinvesting into some garbage, there's things that people have been investing in for years and years and years and years to hold for stable passive income. It's called the stock market and index funds. And now we have all of the options to be able to do stablecoin yield with all these companies that are flowing into USDT, USDC, and now even USD1, the Trump World Liberty Financial stablecoin. We even got the USDE, all these stable coins. There's going to be ones that are stronger than others and the more secure. You could be rolling your profits into a stable coin, earning the whatever the yield is, and then you at least know that you are protecting yourself a little bit. But it's just like, I got to make the case, though, it all still has risk. But what has the least amount of risk? Investing in some new protocol that you get convinced right at the tail end of the run, and then you lose half of your gains because you took half your gains and put it into something. No, you need to. That's how, and that's what goes right back to the first part, is diversifying. So then you're taking. So say you're up 5x. You invested $10,000 into crypto, and now you just 5x'd. And now you have $50,000. Take $20K out and put it into something that earns you passive income. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Once my portfolio hits this particular milestones, I will be taking profits and putting them into something that is going to earn passive income just in case we go into a ridiculous bear market. And even then, it doesn't matter if we're in a bear market or a bull market. It's still just a safe, secure play. I'm still getting risk and getting exposure, but I'm also playing the long game, because the whole goal here, guys, is to retire and have your money working for you so you don't have to continue to wage slave. How do you do that? You got to get thousands and thousands of dollars in things that give you passive income. That's the way. And so that's what this will help you do. And it's very simple. It's very simple. Allocation diversified strategy, not even telling you what coins it needs to be, but you figure that out yourself and then lock in, get yourself acquainted with all of the different wallets and the exchanges and what works best for you and what you have your keys. Then you're going to figure out that third part, which is this is the hardest part, the hodling and taking profits. This is all easy. Buying the coins and figuring out what you want to buy is the easy part. The hard part is holding through the volatility and knowing when to take profits. That's the hard part. But I believe in you guys. I believe in you. All right, my friends, I think that's it. That was the portfolio breakdown. We really appreciate you guys coming in for today's live stream. We will be back a little later tonight because we are working a gig. We run like sound and stuff like that because we're like an AV, audio visual technician. So we do all kinds of stuff like that, but primarily we run sound for shows and for artists and stuff, and then we play shows ourselves. So we're always, doing some gigs and things like that. So we're gonna be working the gig, running some sound, and we're gonna be live streaming at like 10 o'clock. So it's gonna be a little later. But we'll be back at 10. And we hope to see you there because we are going to start doing 2 live streams a day, and we're not going to miss a beat because I really do believe that we are going to start getting people back into YouTube and getting back into watching cryptocurrency live streams and just and financial live streams in general, just news, people, real stuff, not AI generated bull crap, real people coming to you live and we're gonna do this together, my friends. So this is the dojo. Remember, this is the dojo crew, and we want you guys to succeed, and we want you guys to have fun, and yeah, that's it. We hope you guys enjoyed the live stream today. Make sure you do all the things like we said. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on X, hit the heart button, hit the repost button, and God bless every single one of you. And may the Lord Jesus Christ shine his light on you and your family. And you go into the rest of this year feeling calm, collected, strong, capable, willing to complete your goals. And that's it, my friends. We'll see you on the next one.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you. Ticker is Bitcoin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
Hey everyone. I just wanted to show you a really quick metric that I found fascinating. So 41% of the people that have been watching this channel and actually liking the channel and the content have not subscribed. 41% of you, but I will say 58% of you subscribed. Amazing. You guys are doing awesome. But I want to say that the people that are not subscribed yet, please, won't you consider subscribing to the channel and joining the Dojo crew where we are educating ourselves. We're in the markets every single day. We're live streaming Monday through Friday, and we're also posting content on a daily basis that is keeping up with these cryptocurrency markets. And this is where the money is flowing right now, guys. So if you want to get these updates and you want to be ahead of the game, I suggest you start subscribing and dinging the bell to be notified whenever I go live and post content, because you do not want to miss it.